Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Saturday. Welcome to the second episode of Sober Talk. All right, we got relationships we're talking about in this episode. I'm going to do a two-part episode for this one specifically. First one will be your first year of sobriety, 14 months. All right, and the second one will be post 1 year. There's a lot that goes into it. So let's start by saying our serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Relationships. That can be a fun word or a scary word. Sober, drunk, dreaming. Your first year is going to be tough, a lot of ups and downs, and we definitely see it in here, the AA Big Book. We hear it from our elders and those who have time and know. I guess I can be considered an elder, maybe. I've got almost 7 years. I'm close, okay? So the first year is working on you, healing what you damaged, whether it be family relationships. I'll get to that. Getting farther down the path than I should right now. All right? You need to realize who you are all over again. And there is no such thing as dating that first year. I get very surprised when I see, I've only seen 3 in my time going into the rooms this time around. This is my 4th time, mind you. And I'll have to do a video talking about my little trip into the rooms this time around. I digress. Very few people find, how do I want to put it? Find it all. The job, the girl, the home, all within 6 months. It's very rare. It's very rare in the first year. You know, you'll find the job depending on the severity of your alcoholism. So no relationships when it comes to dating at all. You have to abstain from sex. That means no booty calls. Listen, motherfuckers, this is serious. No Tinder. It's gonna fuck you up. All right? No casual sex, no casual dating. You know, make new friends in the rooms. That's the point, okay? A lot of people try for the 90 and 90. I tried the 90 and 90 the last time I came into the rooms and it depressed me. I found what worked for me. You gotta find what works for you with your sobriety in that first year. You have to realize what your inventory is prior to that. There's a lot of work you have to do and there's a lot of damage you have to repair when you become sober in that first year. So, making the new connections is one thing. Screwing is another. It's going to cloud everything. It's going to fuck you up. Because you're weak. You're vulnerable. You're not 100%. And anybody who tells me they're 100%, I want to laugh in their face. But I actually have to pray for them because we don't do that. At the same time, I want to slap the taste out of their mouth because it's just, don't get cocky. Be humble about your sobriety. Be humble when you're coming into the first year. That's one thing I can't stress enough. Humility. Because fucking hubris will get you in the long run if you're going to be cocky and think you can do whatever. Like, no. I learned. I'm speaking from experience. 6 months in, I tried talking to someone and no. Okay? So after 3 months, if you feel or if you think you can handle it, get a plan. And if you don't think you can do a plan, try for 6 months. All right? Plant is where you want to start. No dating. No pets. I don't even recommend a goldfish. My first elders that I actually started to sit down with this time around, when I really wanted to get to know the nitty-gritty about that stuff, they said, no goldfish, not even a hamster. Can you take care of yourself? How well did you take care of yourself beforehand? Are you taking care of yourself like you could now? You got to ask yourself those questions before you bring another life into your home or into your life. And that includes fish and fucking rodents. So like I say, try for 6 months. You know, wait for that 3 months. Wait for it. And if you don't feel like you're ready, don't get a plant. Because you're just going to get frustrated and you're going to have a little setback. We all do. Because if you have that plant die on you at 3 months, here comes a setback. It's happened. I've seen it with others. No singles mingles. Don't. No. And as for Lucid, no hate towards Lucid and you guys, but that's more a sober dating app. It may say single social network for sober people, but it's more a sober dating app. Wait. No dating apps, not even the sober ones. I'm serious. It's not going to work out for you. You're going to end up relapsing. No going to the bars. I was one that loved going to the bar. I love singing karaoke. I'm able to go out now because I scared myself stupid. But I'm also the DD. I'd rather have my people get home safe and me be the fucking Uber. So it is what it is. Find a hobby that's not gaming. Gaming will depress you. You will get depressed and it will hinder you. It will hinder your growth. I didn't game for the whole year. This is me. I mean, I'm a Call of Duty nut. All right? Find a better hobby. Okay? I paint like Bob Ross. I love painting. Okay? So, during this year, what you need to learn in all this, why they say you can't date, why I say it too, why I agree with this, the first 12 months, you need to learn patience. Patience for not just life itself, but yourself. It's not going to happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight for me. I mean, my eyes were as red as this Ohio State hat when I came into the rooms. I was neurotic. I was a mess. I had gone through a shoulder rebuild on my right shoulder. And I look back and I was miserable. Who would want to date me? I wouldn't date me. No, I was, no, my PTSD was not a fun time when I became sober because I was quelling my demons with the alcohol for so many years. I was numbing pain for years. We all do it. In high school, I didn't really drink. I very rarely drink. I thought I was Hunter S. Thompson. I liked drugs, except for IV. That never jived with me. I hate needles. Tattoo needles are fine, but don't poke me, all right? Another thing during that first year, learn to listen. Listen to the stories out of the big book. Go to big book meetings. That's my big thing. I recommend that. I highly recommend that, getting a big book. And if you don't go to big book meetings, if you just want to go to speaker meetings, get a big book and read it. You'd be surprised how much you can relate to in just this book alone. Bill W. is my friend, and I've come across a lot of people in my years that were sober before I got sober. And they used to ask me, why don't you become friends with Bill W? I don't know, I like being drunk too much. So this book right here, you will relate to a lot. And I ain't bullshitting on that. If you don't relate to something, at least one or two stories in this book, holler at me. We'll figure something out. I'm serious. I'm here to try and help. Learn to calmly communicate. This is all part of your first year. Like, I can't stress it enough. Because I've had friends who are like, well, I'm dating this chick. My guy learned from my experiences. Well, she's awesome. She's rad. She doesn't even drink. Like, what's your definition of doesn't even drink? Does she have a couple glasses of wine during the weekend or something? Well, wine's not really drinking. Bullshit. I'm going to tell you, stop with that fucking nonsense. Knock it off. Because I used to think the same way. It's not going to work. Don't drink. That's the best thing I can say. Don't drink. Don't even try the 0-0s. I have a 0-0 once in a while. I know I'm probably going to get shit from my elders the next time I see them if they see this. But I've scared myself stupid. I don't want to go back to drinking. I'm going to get a little off topic. And for instance, last night I went out with my brother and his girlfriend. And their friends showed up, and one of them got cheeky and, like, you know, you do that little stream. Just, she spit a little bit of Hennessy across the freaking table, and it, like, got all over my hands. I'm like, ugh, like, I hate the smell of alcohol. But I can go to a bar and watch people act like jackasses. Your first year, you can't handle that. You're gonna get triggered. You're gonna fall off your wagon. All right. I know, because I had it happen to me the first few times. All right. Like I said, learn to calmly communicate with people. When I was a drunk, I just pop. Some people would look at me and say, uh-oh, Johnny's got whiskey. Is he going to be happy Johnny tonight, or is he going to be throwing fists? Or trying to throw fists, or being a bastard? Alcohol changes you. Okay? It's not going to make you the same person. You know, I was an altar server. I was a good kid growing up. But when I started drinking and becoming a drunk, I fucked up a lot. Trust me. I'm not a saint. You know, I've bitched in my time about some of my relationships. Hey, you know what? I picked the wrong one. I've lived and learned. But sometimes, there have been a few times, I have been a big problem. I'm not going to say I was innocent. Got to take inventory, and I apologize to those that I dated that I hurt. Like I say, you got to learn to apologize. You got to make amends with some people. Some people you can't. I have one amends that I haven't made. My former sponsor said stay away from it because of the situation and how it ended. My brother says stay away from it. One of my best friends says stay away from it. So, who knows? You got to apologize and correct, but sometimes, hey, if she's watching, sorry, Caroline. That's my bad. I was an asshole. I shouldn't have done what I did. You got to correct it, though. You can't just apologize and keep doing it. Don't let the past haunt your present. That's one thing. You can think about your past, but don't dwell on it. I've dwelled on mine way too much. Way too much. And it's not going to help. Make peace with it. Forgive whatever you need to forgive. You know, I've got a couple of regrets in life, and an ex and I, who I'm still good friends with now. Well, you know, I wasn't the guy she fell in love with. I wasn't the guy she said yes to when I asked her to marry me. Drugs and alcohol. And I hid my coke habit very well. You know. And yeah, you probably hurt some people in your time with your choices, just like I have. Make peace with it. Forgive yourself. It's the best way you're going to be able to survive in this game of sobriety. Don't mind me, I got my notes. So, I'll tell you about my last one. We both fucked up. We had a lot of great times. A lot of great times. She wasn't your typical woman I would date. She wasn't my type, per se. And I'm not saying that to be mean or a dick or anything. Like, I was outside of my wheelhouse. I'm someone who gives people chances. And she was a cute and awesome girl at first. And, you know, I walked out the first time. We had our differences, but by the time I had my foot surgery in 22, which was like August, beginning of September, we'd started, we'd started kind of, I guess, rekindling. You know, she had told me she had gotten organized, the house was clean, you know. That's part of the reason why I left. I'm Danny Tanner, and she's Albert Einstein's hair when it comes to cleanliness and organization. Doesn't make her a bad person. She was sweet. I loved her more than anybody I ever loved. And it broke my heart to leave her. You know, you got to figure out if the pain's worth it for both of you. Because we got back together, and you know, it was because I loved her still. And when Ian happened, I still cared about her that much that my one-footed Frankenfoot ass went up there and had my gun with me and ammo and made sure that she and the cats were safe. So Ian hits and we lost power, and well, not long after that, surprise, we found out we were expecting. So we got back together, you know. It was, in my opinion, it was the right thing to do. Plus, I was crazy about her still, you know. I mean, she brought the nerd out of me I had hidden. That's another thing I'm going to touch on after this. Put a pin in that. Remember that. I'm going to try and finish this quick. I wanted to make her an aunt. I made her an aunt. We went up Thanksgiving, and we were making the announcement. We were happy. And you know, I told her I think it was going to be a junior, but something in me knew we were going to have a daughter, and we were going to name her Sanibel. And she lost her after Thanksgiving. Or at least we found out after Thanksgiving. And I blamed myself because she really should have been careful. I should have been more careful and thinking more about the high risk. And I didn't. I blame myself, and I still blame myself. Because maybe if she didn't fly to Boston that week, who knows? But I did not deal with it very well at all. Damn. I don't know how many times I can apologize for not being there mentally. I didn't know how to talk to her. Something broke in me. I don't know how to explain it. So at the end of it, sorry, I got people on the other side of the door waving at me and shit. Train of thought. Yeah. I didn't deal with it good or well at all. And it came out in anger. Because I was angry with myself. I blamed myself. And that was the first solid relationship I had had since getting sober. I guess I still needed to do some healing. A lot of healing before we got together. I didn't realize it then. But we both got toxic for each other. I should have left in 2023 when she hit me with the painting. Through a painting, it hit me right here, and I've been having problems now the last 6 months with that spot, blurred vision. But she gave me those pretty little brown puppy dog eyes. And I stayed with her, but something changed in me. I should have left right then and there. I loved her that much that I stayed with her another year. And the both of us damaged each other. I don't want to get too much more into that. That can be for another time. So, you got to take one day at a time. Your first year, one step at a time. Don't go back to a toxic ex. Can't do that. Don't let that toxic ex dictate your present either. Like I said, we were both toxic for each other. We got along great at one point. We had great times. I mean, there were a lot of great times. Christ, she was my counter nerd. I had a nerd hidden in me because I was bullied because I was a nerd. But lightsaber fights, it was like a cheesy rom-com at the beginning. We went to Disney, we had made lightsabers, and all of a sudden the skies opened up. We're running through the rain, kissing in the rain, like it was something out of a fucked up cheesy movie, but in Disney. That's why I say it's a fucked up cheesy movie. I can't see a rom-com being set in Disney. No. Don't do that, Disney. I'm just gonna say that. So, all right. I already touched on someone who rarely drinks. I had someone who was wild. Right out the gate. I was like, 12 months, I'm ready to go. Sometimes you're not gonna be ready at 12 months. I wasn't. I had someone who drank a lot. She was wild. Real wild. Holy shit. Fun, but fun doesn't keep you sober and mentally well. After a couple months, her games caused me to have a nervous breakdown. I should have just walked away when I first saw the games. But I was thinking with little Johnny. And when you're getting into a new relationship, if you're at the end of that year, and you feel like you're strong enough to do that, be sure to tell yourself, this person is not your past. They are not your past relationships. If you see red flags, depending on the red flag, maybe it can be fixed. But I ignored red flags and so didn't she. You know, I like I say, I needed to heal before I got into a relationship with her. I wasn't healed. I had a situation earlier that summer and I just wasn't healed from it. But for some reason, she saw her potential in me. Look for the potential. If you can't see the potential, don't stress over it. But I guess that's all for now. Just take it one day at a time. And remember, if you don't have God, you're going to struggle. I know people who don't have God and they struggle. So, until next time, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your Saturday.